welcome to Brainworms Podcast, the podcast that has always been cool. I'm Joe.
I'm wearing an onion on my belt, which was the fashion at the time.
Back in 1962 during the Dick Van Dyke Wars.
I'm Kaine, and I've been kick-flipping repeatedly.
Nice.
I'm Chris, and I find that very impressive considering your appendage situation.
What are you talking about? My appendage situation is awesome now.
You say it's awesome, but the closer you get to actual human appendages, the more disturbing it becomes.
That's true of everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever really just stopped to think about toes?
Look, how about this? You guys come on in here, and I can show you all of my neat new appendages.
Never again.
Again?
Never again what?
I'm going to tell people about how to be completely cool.
Wait, are we reading this fucking book again?
Yeah, we didn't finish it.
Didn't we? Didn't we?
And our contract with the Moon Duke requires that we do at least an hour. So,
But really, think about toes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have 14.
Whoa, that's more than I have.
Is that not normal?
I've heard that the only toe that you need to walk appropriately is the big toe.
Interesting if true. David,
Wait, no, let's unpack this. Where did you hear that from, Chris?
I don't remember. I just remember thinking that it made sense because the big toe is the largest and most dexterous in terms of movement. You can move it. You can farm more directions than the rest of your toes.
Well, Chris, science demands that you test this.
Yeah, because the internet just told me that your pinky is crucial for helping you to maintain balance.
So what I'm going to need you to do is on your left foot, cut off all of your toes but the big toe.
Yeah.
And on your right foot, you're going to cut off all but the pinky and tell me which foot you walk better with.
I think that tracks.
You know, I would totally do
you're a
this,
good
except
scientist.
we're working on moon gravity, not Earth gravity, dumbass.
Not in the facility.
Yeah, dumbass.
How do we get Earth gravity in the facility? No one's explained.
Science.
Well, I mean, it's a sequence of
Science.
magnets and atmospheric changes using different chemicals in the air.
centripetal force. It's a whole
what?
thing.
Yeah.
Man, that whole internet thing you've been on has been really helping you out, Kaine.
Yeah, although I am concerned that you've become so knowledgeable about the functionality of the place where we all live and breathe.
Well, I mean, it's not like we're using, right now, generally it's like 21% of alcohol is being, or of alcohol.
Yeah.
Of oxygen.
Freudian.
21% of oxygen is actually in the atmosphere we're breathing in the facility.
Yeah.
But it should be more like between 16 and 12%.
Yeah, it's a little high, a little rich. But, I can't confirm we're using all 100% of the alcohol.
Yeah.
It's all gone.
The extra oxygen in the atmosphere, in the air, creates the sense of euphoria that we need to get through this bullshit.
Wait, so was I designed to need more oxygen for that euphoria?
No, we just
No,
didn't-
you were just designed to hate.
We just didn't
Oh,
give you
okay.
euphoric glands.
Okay.
Also that, yeah.
So I'm missing on dopamine receptors that
Exactly.
normal
Yeah.
humans have.
Pretty
You just
much,
don't
yeah.
have dopamine.
Was there a specific reason? Oh, so I have the receptors, I just don't produce dopamine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically, if you ever get out of control, we have some shots we can inject you with.
Which will introduce dopamine into my system.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and then you'll become very affable and easy to deal with.
But now if I've been consuming MDMA, since I don't actually get dopamine anyway, if I've been consuming MDMA to no effect because it doesn't do anything for me, to destroy my dopamine receptors, will that prevent you from actually stopping me were I to finally figure out how to open my door and escape on my
Hopefully we never have to find out.
I don't know
Yeah,
about that, but
hopefully.
when we were designing you, we decided not to go with the dopamine gland because that would save
own? What
us
do you mean
50
gland? Where's your dopamine gland, Chris?
Way up your butthole.
And
In some cases, yes.
and we decided not to because it would save us an extra 50 cents on every clone we produced. And with committee corporate thinking, we thought that would be the best option.
Did you think it was the best option, or did your two brainworms daddies tell you that that was the best option?
We need that extra 50 cents,
For what, Chris?
For the coffee interns.
We
have
do
to
go
pay them.
through a lot of interns.
We do.
I haven't eaten an intern in weeks.
Oh, geez. Where does the time go?
We should read How to Be Completely Cool.
Oh, Yeah. I mean, obviously we already know.
You can always be cooler, David.
All right, well, let's fucking get to it.
Yeah, let's crack open a fresh bottle of gamer fuel because we're gonna. Did my voice do a little squeak there?
It did,
Yep.
yeah. It was very...
I'm gonna do another read on that. Crack open a fresh bottle of gamer fuel because we're gonna get cool.
Isn't that gamer fuel? Isn't that stuff in like buckets?
Is it? I don't know.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, I think you scoop it out. I don't think there's like a can
Wow.
of gamer fuel.
Ah.
I just imagine that it's made out of cam
Gamers?
girl bathing water.
I mean, that's the only beverage I drink.
Cam girl bathwater?
No, they've got cans. They've got cans. Wait, no, they don't. G Fuel does not have cans, but there is a Mountain Dew game fuel.
No, they do. There are cans.
Look, kids, just drink water.
Yeah.
And not out of someone's bathtub. I don't care who they are.
I mean, if that's all you have, all right, so if a destructive situation has happened and you're concerned that your only viable water source or water plant is about to shut down, then you fill up a bathtub with water until you can figure something else out.
That's valid, yeah.
But the point is that water is got your back. You don't need extra stuff in it. Just drink water.
Or if you want to be cool, you can drink gamer fuel.
Yeah.
They're not sponsoring us. We're just trying to get them to.
Yeah, I just want
That's
them
not,
to.
I don't want them to, no, they don't.
I want to sell out so much.
Yeah.
I don't want to sell out to G Fuel, though.
I don't care.
Hey, it's good enough for Ryan Reynolds. It's good enough for me.
Did Ryan Reynolds sell out to G Fuel?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It's like all over that fucking Free Guy movie.
Yeah, yeah. Raid Shadow Legends, if you want us to... I don't care. I just want to sell out.
I mean, I would definitely do the Raid Shadow Legends.
Those wonderful in-ear... I can't think of the name of them now.
But I believe they're called earbuds, Joe.
Well, I know that they're called earbuds, but there's a specific brand, you fuck, that YouTubers get sponsorship deals from. And apparently they're very good, and I want to be sponsored by that product.
Can someone push the button that makes Chris stop?
It'll cause his brain to explode.
I'm okay with that. Acceptable losses.
Sometimes you just got to take the exceptionally good with the marginally bad.
Just stop. We're not. This isn't even the episode we're recording today. This is
Yeah,
stop
let's
it.
read the book.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. We're reading the book.
Yeah.
Perhaps, if you're a girl, they are beautifully manicured with long, slender fingers and perfectly varnished nails. Real ones, not bitten. It is uncool to bite your nails. And even less cool to put on false ones and then bite those.
What is this book's problem?
Hey, Kaine has nubs, and he's pretty cool.
And he bites them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually don't have nubs anymore.
Oh, that's right.
You fucking idiots never pay attention.
Well,
And that's how my clone army is going to take over.
you continuously die and are reborn. Like, you're 100% replaceable.
If you're a boy, hands can sometimes seem quite uncool things flapping about at the end of your arms.
What?
The coolest thing to do with them seems to be
It's
to
to chop
put them
them
in your
off.
pockets.
Oh,
But people, such as teachers, keep shouting at you to take them out again.
so chop them
Your
off.
mom or dad doesn't help.
They take your hands out of your Was that a thing from, like, the 1940s as opposed to the 90s?
No.
No, I mean, I would get told all the time to take
Yep.
my hands out of my pockets. I don't know why.
I was anxious and had low self-esteem as a teenager and as an adult, and to this day. And never once have I looked at my hands and said, I hate my uncool hands.
They're just flopping about at the
They're
end of
just
my arms.
flapping at the end of my... Yeah.
I actually just severed mine off with a chainsaw and then attached the chainsaw to the hands.
Groovy.
It sounds really heavy.
How are you going to start them?
I use my teeth.
It's tradition.
Pretty metal.
Rules of cool. First rule of cool. Don't worry about it. Relax. Let's summarize. Cool is calm. Cool is collected.
I can't be calm. I'm worrying about my hands.
As in a collected hat, etc. Or together. Cool is being relaxed and unfazed by events without actually becoming comatose as a cucumber.
Cool is taking heavy doses of lithium.
Oh, well, then I was the fucking coolest. I was Miles Davis.
You can cultivate a cool exterior if you wish, wear your cool shades to disguise the fact that you are crying your eyes out during a soppy film. You don't have to know exactly what to say all the time. Try saying nothing so that you seem as if you know what's going on, but you don't really need to comment. There's a saying, silence is cool. Or was it golden? Does it matter? Of course.
I thought it was something along the lines of, what is it? Speak foolishness or reveal your foolishness.
Oh, it's better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to open your mouth and confirm it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, if you don't expose your foolishness, then you can't be corrected on it.
It's true.
Yeah, but no one wants to be corrected. Being corrected isn't cool.
That's how you get smarter, though.
Being smart isn't cool.
Wait, that's not true, actually. Smart people are cool. That's what I want to put out there in the universe. If you want to be cool, be smart.
All of this falls apart when you look at Bill Gates, who, by Western culture, is arguably cool for all of his money.
I don't think anyone's ever said that having money is cool. Having money just makes you able to tell other people what to do.
No. I mean, no, we're operating on the most shallow level possible with this book. So by the most shallow standards of Western culture, having a shit ton of money, which automatically equals success, Bill Gates is one of the coolest people ever, and he has really cool cars and really cool trophy wives or whatever and all that nonsense.
You don't know anything about Bill Gates, do you?
No.
Yeah.
Just that he invented Windows. At least I think he did.
He thinks he did too.
Yeah, that's a conversation for another podcast.
Was it a Facebook thing?
Sort of, yeah.
Oh,
Bill Gates basically took a bunch of other people's work and put his name on it.
Yeah.
And
in the long tradition of,
everyone wealthy.
Yeah.
Of course, it's fine if you do know exactly what to say all the time in every single situation that life throws at you. This is known as being super cool. Other people will probably admire you for your cool and perfect poise, but they may be slightly intimidated by it. How do you do it? There is something a little unreal about being so in control. Most ordinary mortals feel vaguely reassured when they see a super cool dude faced with a situation where they lose it ever so slightly. As in other areas of life, being cool is a question of getting the balance right. It isn't cool to trip over your own feet, even if they are an uncool size 15, and fall flat on your face at the perfectly formed feet of person you like.
Like this feels like a book written by an AI program trying to analyze human behavior.
No, this was just a book written by a mom trying to tell people that it's okay and not to sweat it because no one actually cares if you're cool, and you're cool as long as you don't panic.
Mm-hmm.
Which is ultimately, I think, what this book will be. Like that's it.
I agree.
Like,
yeah.
But if that is the message, why is it obscuring that message with all of these things about, like, oh, if you don't have the right hands, then you're not cool?
I don't know. It's probably a little, and I thought about this for a little bit recently, actually. It's probably a completely different world now for teenagers than it was 25, 30 years ago. But if you were a teenager in the 90s, you had basically your own little bubble of people that you were going to see every day, and that was it, and no way of escaping. Like, this was before the internet. 96, that was before AOL. That was like the year AOL came out.
Right.
So people weren't able to get away from their bubble. You sweated that shit. It really felt like this is how it's going to be forever. And if I don't get to be on top now, I never will. I'll always be this terrible loser who has no friends.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just say that to people, though. Like, you can't tell them, no, you'll be better. It's fine. Because people don't listen.
Right.
Like, you know that.
Yeah.
We like to pretend that as we grow up, we become a little more aware of things and open, but adults don't listen. That's why we have fucking wars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like really all this book needs is like, look, high school is only 4 years of your life. You're going to move out of this shitty town and none of these people are going to matter. So just try to find joy where you can.
Look, High school is 4 years of your life where you will completely define basically everything about yourself and lock yourself into patterns that you will follow through the rest of your life because, well, frankly, after high school, you're going to be too busy just shaking off the existential dread that comes with having to hold a job for 40 hours a week.
Yeah,
and wondering
that's a point.
why you're doing anything ever. So you won't care about being cool.
It's true, yeah. Be too busy pushing the boulder up the hill.
Second rule of cool. Don't try too hard to impress. You don't need to put on an act. People should take you as you are and like you for yourself. If there are one or two people who don't seem to like you, don't bother with them. You don't need them. They
Kick
may
them
come
in the
round in
balls.
the end anyway. Or they may not. It doesn't matter. There's another saying, you can't please all the people all of the time. No, of course you can't. And if you're going to be truly cool, you should avoid trying to please.
Did she just bastardize Abraham Lincoln's quote of you can fool some of the people all the time?
No.
Huh?
No, that was P.T. Barnum.
That's what I thought.
Oh,
And no, there is in fact a saying that you can't please everyone all of the time.
oh, okay. I've never heard that before.
Really?
Yeah?
Huh.
You've had a weird life.
Yeah.
Note. It is cool to have seen the film or heard the album that everyone's talking about. But if you haven't, it's better to keep quiet.
Queef?
If
It's
you
better to
haven't
queef.
heard the album everyone's talking about, it's better to queef.
Just queef.
It's better to queef quietly.
That's right.
If you can queef on command, wait for the internet. You'll be famous.
Then just start rolling around on the floor, laughing hysterically, shrieking.
And shrieking, yeah.
You did this, Joe!
Yeah.
You should have known.
But if you haven't, it is better to keep quiet. Quiet is cool. Rather than show off and say, I thought Harrison Hunk was amazing, only for someone to say Harrison Hunk wasn't in it. If you can't easily get to see the film or hear the album, try to read a review in a newspaper or magazine so that you know what people are talking about.
Or just say, hey, I haven't heard that record. How about you, tape it for me?
Yep. Remember, being cool does not mean being perfect. Consider the following. I temper all my success with a decent amount of failure. This is a cool quote from a cool old guy called Suggs. It is ultra cool to have just one name.
What's happening?
There are one or two cool old farts around. Lenny Henry is one of them. The leaders of New Cool, among others, are Leonardo, Michael Owen, Uma Thurman, Cameron Diaz, the babe in year 12 who you can't take your eyes off, the hunky bloke who ignores you in the hall as you switch classes, and why it doesn't always work. Unfair situation number 1. The cool scene. Suni Lal is in his room, getting ready to go to a party. He is dancing, cool dancing, to his favorite CD, and feels super cool and confident. His new spotlessly white shirt seems to glow with an almost unearthly radiance in the subdued lighting of his room. He practices his slow smile with a slight,
tripping
humorous
balls.
twitching of the lip, which he is certain will have girls falling at his feet. He runs his hand through his hair, which is silky, shining. He smells wonderful. Half a can of Cool, the great new 24-hour deodorant, and he is ready to party. The uncool scene. Suni Lal arrives at the party. Someone had forgotten to turn down the lights, and his white shirt is completely drowned out by the bright overhead lights. He notices a beautiful babe waving in his direction. He smiles his special smile, only to realize that the beautiful babe you like, is waving at someone just behind him. He turns and sees that the guy you don't like, she is waving to is wearing an uncool greenish jumper, possibly
So hire
hand-knitted
a
by a
hitman to
doting mother
assassinate
or
him.
granny, which he takes off to reveal an even less cool, shapeless, faded t-shirt, and that he has hair like a loo brush, or perhaps it's a small dog or guinea pig sitting on top of his head.
What is this book's problem?
Yeah, it's very shamey.
Yeah.
A very pronounced Adam's apple which wobbles up and down his throat. Suni watches with a kind of horrified fascination as beautiful babe and loo brush man hug each other. Suni tries to enjoy himself, but his cool seems to have deserted him. He finds that he has developed a high-pitched giggle, which he is sure he never had before. His lips twitch nervously rather than sexily. He returns home early and slumps in an armchair looking depressed. Mrs. Law asks him what the matter is. "It's nothing, Mum. I just lost my cool." "Did you, dear? I'm sure it can't be far away. Have you looked under the bed?"
This is dumb.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot my big toe off.
Keep you from getting drafted.
Situation number 1. You can be wearing your coolest hat and your most together pair of trousers, and person you like will still fail to notice you exist. Instead, they walk off with someone you consider completely uncool. Why? No one can answer this question satisfactorily.
Because God is dead.
It is unfair, but it happens. And it's because God is dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also because people have different tastes, and just because you feel super confident and like you are rocking it, you just might not be that person's flavor, you know?
And no one cares.
Yeah. If there is a hell,
Yep. I'll see you there.
rock on. Race you to the bottom.
Are you proud of what the two of you have just done?
Yeah. No.
I kind of want to redo this book, and it'll be like a giant hardback cover, laminated or whatever, all the fancy stuff done on it. And you open up and it's one page and it says, "Don't care about being cool."
Well, I mean, that's pretty cool. It's cool to not try to be cool.
It's hip to be square.
Gonna have to face it, you're addicted to love.
Dare to be stupid.
Don't let it get to you. There are plenty more fish babes in the sea.
Fish babes.
Fish babes.
Now it's an H.P. Lovecraft book. Great.
Or just The Shape of Water, which is basically an H.P. Lovecraft book.
No, I once went to the beach looking for fish babes and mermaids. I found them, but the Disney cartoons were vastly inflammatory. They've got it reversed. They have fish upper parts and human lower parts.
No, that's great, though. That's the same kind that Fry was looking for when he found the lost city of Atlanta.
It's true.
Because, like, there's not a lot you can do with the...
I mean, there's a lot you can do with the upper half, David.
It's true. You really need one of each.
Ugh. Is this where we're at now? This is...
Or just, like, a fish and a woman.
Yeah.
yeah. You know what? Scarper the whole idea. Just get a lady and have sex near an aquarium and call it a day.
Yeah.
Just find yourself a partner.
Sex.
Willing. Yeah, find a sex.
Yourself sex.
Just a woman with a pet beta. That's it. That's all you need. It's as good as a mermaid. There was a song called "I'm Gonna Wash That Man Right Out of My Hair." Or it could be a boy or girl. You could try this.
What?
Situation number 2. The cool scene. Laura Pemberton is at a party. She is wearing her cool hat, but is feeling a little hot in it. The room is crowded and airless. Her date is busy chatting with his mates, and she's getting tired of waiting for him to talk to her.
They're all locked in. It's actually a jigsaw contraption, and they're running out of air.
She gets up suddenly, too suddenly, and everything goes black. Or it may just be because the hat is over her eyes. She faints.
Ugh.
Her date is at her side instantly, asking if she's okay. People rush to throw open windows, and someone fetches her a drink of water. Laura feels better and enjoys the attention. Her date stays with her for the rest of the evening. Did this book just say if your boyfriend is ignoring you, faint?
I think this book just said it's cool to give yourself heat stroke with your fashion choices.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to go in the direction of this was the most attention that this lady ever got, and she got addicted to feigning crises for attention.
And just developed Munchausen syndrome.
Yeah.
By proxy?
No.
No, that was after the adoption. But the thing is that she never adopted kids. She was never approved for it. So she just called it adopting cats. So she was taking her cats to doctors. And, that was the Munchausen by proxy.
This is a weird journey you've taken us on, Chris.
Huh.
It's a stupid journey we've been taking
This
on.
whole book is a stupid journey. Yeah.
That's your fucking fault.
The uncool scene.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Suni Lal is at the same party. He has no girlfriend, and he is bored. He observes how Laura's date and a large number of other people rush to her side when she faints. He wonders if the same thing would work for him. Would a beautiful girl rush to his side and cradle his head in her lap? He decides to give it a go. Unfortunately, he falls heavily with a loud thump and bangs his head on the edge of the table, whereas Laura subsided gently and gracefully into a semi-sitting position. Laura's date, who is standing nearby, asks, "Are you all right, mate?" "Yeah, I'm fine," says Suni, getting back to his feet. "Do you want me to call your folks or something and get someone to come and take you home?" No, honestly, I'm fine. Never been better." Suni notices that quite a lot of girls are staring at him, but none of them seems particularly inclined to cradle his head in her lap.
What's happening?
It is disappointing.
I don't know.
It is also unfair. Sad but true.
If it had just ended there with a period and moved on to something else, that kind of would have been perfect as like an absurdist piece of literature.
Sad but true. Cool for boys, cool for girls. There is more pressure on boys to be cool dudes. They are expected, not necessarily by you, but by the world at large, to be strong and fairly unemotional.
This is a weird direction this book is chosen to go.
Yeah, it's, mid-90s propping up that whole bullshit toxic masculinity, patriarchy.
Yeah, it's doing that.
Also sort of subtle racism because, like, the uncool example person is Suni Lal, who I assume is of Indian or Pakistani descent.
Sure.
And everyone who's been cool so far has been, like, Laura Pemberton. And what was it? Fucking Donnie McCool or whatever.
Right.
Gary
Coolerton or Coolford. Gary Coolford. If I ever go off on a daring life of crime, that will be the name that I use.
This feels like a book written by I Am Jack's attempt at a literature career.
I mean, it feels like a person in their mid-30s trying to talk to teens is what it feels like.
It almost kind of feels like Words of Power Castlevania.
Yeah, there's some of that energy there.
World of Power, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very astute.
There's an illustration here, too, showing a guy in a dress, and it's labeled uncool. Girls can wear trousers, but boys can't wear dresses.
That's a bullshit double standard. Fuck this book.
Yep.
Wait, because this book has taken weird turns. Is
It
going
has.
to is it going to try and examine that double standard?
I don't know if it's going to examine it or if it's just going
I think it's just embracing it.
to just point it out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's really, it might have been beyond the purview of the author to try to change the world. The argument could be made that this book wasn't trying to say, these are the ways in which we can make a better world for everyone. More, hey, you're a neurotic teenager. If you want to be cool, just do this.
I'm going to dare to be stupid.
Yeah, put down that chainsaw and listen to me.
But yeah, please continue, because I want to see if this book takes another turn and starts examining that.
It's not going to.
It might. It was like, hey, your hands, everyone's looking at your hands. Make sure they're extra cool.
It's just going to make me more anxious.
Don't worry about being cool, you know?
It didn't even occur to me to worry about my hands until this book told me to.
It told me that girls could paint their fingernails, and that made their fingernails cool. So I just started painting my fingernails. Now I don't just have big flappy things at the end of my arms. Instead, they're big flappy things where one hand is painted red and the other hand is painted blue.
Nice.
Love and hate?
Just wanted a red right hand.
Like your style.
Thanks to Joe. I know what you're talking about.
Cool for girls and not for boys. It's cool for girls to cry occasionally, although not continuously. People are usually
Men do
sympathetic
not have emotions.
and will put their arms around the weeping one. An exception to this
What
rule...
eldritch horror is the weeping one?
An exception to this rule is the super cool guy who objects to girls weeping all
Dark
over
Souls
him
game.
and getting the shoulder of his best shirt wet. So it's super cool if you're that asshole who's like, don't fucking cry on me.
Oh, Joe, I just figured it out. The Weeping One boss from Dark Souls, it's not actually like a dodge the attacks sort of boss. It's a maximizing your DPS boss. It's just a thing with a huge HP pool that's crying and filling up a small room, and you have to kill it before you drown.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cool for boys to break down and cry, except on rare occasions.
'Cause
People react
boys
differently
don't
when a
cry.
girl cries to the way they do when a boy cries. That's largely true, largely societal, and largely bullshit that we should overcome,
Yeah.
but I can't blame her for being aware of it.
Did punk come after or before this era?
Oh, well before.
Way
Well
before.
before.
Yeah.
Well before.
I feel like
Punk was good and dead at this point.
I
Yeah.
feel like if punk had bided its time and come out right at the end of the 90s, that would have done a lot of good for society.
That was emo, and it
It's
didn't.
true.
When a girl cries, girl, I can't handle it anymore. It's all too much. Boo-hoo. Parent, come here, love. Tell me all about it. Here's a tissue. Best friend, go on. Let it all out. I'm here for you. When a boy cries.
They get smacked by their father and told that they didn't raise a whiny sing. I can't.
That's accurate in my experience, yeah.
Mhm.
Boy, I can't handle it anymore. It's all too much. Boo-hoo. Parent, well, crying won't help. Go outside and get some fresh air. Come back when you're feeling better. Best mate. Oh, God, please don't do that. I mean, I don't know what to say. Things could be worse, you know? You might be dead. Ha! Oh, please stop crying. Someone might see you.
This book is treating crying as more of a social faux pas than farting in public.
It really is.
It's cool for girls to do bodybuilding and weight training and even to play rugby if they wish to, but it is very uncool indeed for a boy if he is struggling to lift something heavy and a girl comes along and does it for him.
What?
It is cool for girls to wear
What
trousers.
is this book's fucking
It is
problem?
not cool for boys to wear skirts or dresses. Cool for boys, and not for girls. It is cool for boys to sit or sprawl in any position they like, mainly because they're not wearing skirts or dresses. It is not cool for a girl to hitch up her skirt and sprawl over the nearest sofa with one foot up on the backrest and the other on the floor.
What?
This sort of behavior would cause embarrassment to some
I am
boys
very uncomfortable
and
right
attract
now.
leering glances and sniggering from others, which most girls can do without.
I don't want to read this book anymore.
But
I want to
boys
stop now,
can
please.
throw themselves into the most abandoned and relaxing positions they like, and no one minds.
With their penis exposed.
Well, I think the impression here was that they were wearing clothing.
No. You can read in whatever you want, but the book is saying that
I
if you
don't like clothes on
Yeah.
me, you know?
you can just flop on the couch with your dick out and it's fine.
I mean, my personal opinion on the matter is, sure, yeah, you know, if you're in your own house,
Sure.
if you're on a subway or something, fucking
Right.
put that thing away.
Well, if you're out in public, that's a violation of law and you will get arrested for that.
Respect the fact that strangers might not want to see your genitals, but if you're in your own space, live your truth.
Yeah, also, if you're in your house and you want everyone to leave but they're still staying to party, flopping out naked on your couch might be the exact coolest thing to do.
Or putting on a Morrissey album.
I did clear out like half a party one time that way.
It's
Wait,
true.
for real?
Yeah.
That's a story that I need over this book. I need the
I feel
story.
like that's the whole story.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it. It was at a party. People were there, and someone said, "Hey, David, get naked." So I did. And like half the party left.
What did the other half do?
Not give a shit.
They were pretty much inured to it, yeah. This was not the first time.
Yeah, apparently David got nude quite a lot
Yeah, it was sort of a thing. It was a thing.
in his early years.
Yeah. I don't do that anymore. My clothing is stitched onto me now.
That's awful.
There's more pressure on girls to wear something new or short or tight or to enhance or improve their looks with makeup, etc. This is usually fun if you have the time and
encouraging
money to spend on makeup, etc. But it can be a hassle if you are in a hurry and you manage to smudge mascara.
So wait, okay, so hang on. Earlier in the book, don't worry about being cool. Later in the book, buy all the newest, coolest things. Make sure your makeup is immaculate. Follow the trends or you will perish.
No, I mean, I think that's unfair, actually. The book itself is not saying you have to do these things.
Just that society has the expectation.
It's little bullet points, and it says there is more pressure on girls to wear something new or short or tight, or to enhance or improve their looks with makeup, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, in my lived experience, that's true.
Yeah, there's truth to that.
Yeah.
My concern, and this is, this whole chapter has been this, is that the book is just going to go, these are kind of problems that different genders have different expectations. That sucks. And then just move on to another subject.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it doesn't say anything. Like, I think it would be kind of fun to rewrite this book, how to be completely cool now, and just see what the differences are. I mean, I'm sure right now, if it were written for the same sort of audience that was at least intended to read this book in the 90s, today's version would be like, have the newest cell phone.
Right.
And possibly there is sort of a sea change here, and it would be kind of cool if it was also be politically involved. Because, that seems to be a thing amongst the youth. And
yeah.
I like it.
Here's my issue. You're saying that, it's just stating what societal standards are. I'm pretty sure these kids know.
Yeah.
Like, so why are we going down this road unless coming up there's a part where it says, like, you can choose to follow these rules if you want. It'll be a hassle, and it examines it. I'm not fully confident that's where this book is going.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, too. There's something to be said for the I'm just reporting it kind of thing, where I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong. It's just this is how things are. But if you're writing for an audience of teenagers, maybe making an effort to say these things aren't actually cool, and like less focus on being cool and more focus on being authentic.
Here's my biggest problem with this book so far, and it's also the same problem I have with the education system as a whole, is that this is a book purporting to how to be cool, and it's providing answers on how to be cool. What it should really be providing is questions for you yourself to answer.
Sure.
Yeah. I guess in a way this book really is precise. It is an insidious brainworm, This was one of those things that was just out there and just propping up the terrible fucking
Yeah, and you were talking about, teens today, and they don't need shit like this because the internet exists. This very sort of rigorous idea of what gendered expectations are that this book seems really hung up on. Throw that in the fucking ocean.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's one little bullet point left here, or half a bullet point of chapter 1, which is there's more pressure on girls to wear something new, short, tight, or to enhance or improve their looks with makeup, etc. This is usually fun if you have the time and money to spend on makeup, etc. But it can be a hassle if you're in a hurry and you manage to smudge mascara all over your nose and smear lipstick all the way from mouth to ear. A boy can arrive at a party wearing no makeup, having not brushed his hair for 3 days, and still look cool. If a girl arrives at a party having not brushed her hair for 3 days, the chances are that she looks a mess. So yeah, I mean, just super, super hammering in and I guess, I don't know.
But is that the end of the chapter? Does it say
that is in fact the end of the chapter? Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't examine.
It just says, hey, this is a thing that exists. It's bad, but it's the way things are.
It's not even insinuating that it's bad. It's just saying this is the way things are, and then it's moving on.
Yeah, it moves on to the chapter about parents and how, parents...
They just don't understand.
Don't understand.
Yeah, basically. Appears to be... and this chapter might actually be devoted to parents, too. Like, hey, these are things you can do to not be the uncool parent.
We've kind of done our time with this book. I think this is a good place to stop, unless anybody has some more thoughts that they want to add.
No, I think I pretty much covered everything that I wanted to say in general from the intro here. Yeah, it's I don't know, it's fascinating to me because it does, I don't know, time's weird, man. You don't notice how much things change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, this is a book that I saw in the store and almost picked up, and I kind of vaguely remember at the time thinking to myself, well, rule number 1 is not to buy a book with this title. If you need to pick up a book called How to Be Completely Cool, you're probably hopeless.
Real quick, just in case there are any younger people that are YouTubing how to be cool.
Be cool, honey buddy.
If I have one thing to say to those people is don't be afraid to ask questions both inwardly and outwardly if you're being pressured to do things.
No,
Ask yourself, well, why is that cool? Why do these people want me to be doing that? Do I want to do that? Like, explore yourself. Don't be afraid of that. And if anyone gives you shit for it, kick him in the nuts.
That's fair.
Or, the something nut equivalent.
For whatever genital they have, just kick it. Fuck. Okay. Yeah, I guess we're done. Is this a good place to? This is a.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
This is a good place to remind the listeners to go to WeGiveYouBrainworms.com, check out our Discord server and our Patreon.
Did you say .com?
No, I think you heard .com.
Yeah, because it's not. It's .com, Joe,
Yeah.
not .com.
It's not
Fuck,
.com.
man.
It's not.
Total missed opportunity by porn websites, though.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah. So check those things out. If you're a YouTube listener, leave a comment, like, subscribe, click the bell, and be cool.
This has been a production of Brainworms Presents. Any copyrighted content contained within is used for purposes of review. Brainworms Podcast is David Combs, Kaine Magdalen, Christian Schaefer, and Joseph Wells. The theme music is Hodgepod No. 1 by Brian Davis. If you like what you heard, you can support us and learn about our other projects at WeGiveYouBrainworms.com or by leaving a review on your favorite listening app.
I hate my uncool hands!